Hello and welcome to another cozy movie review. Let's talk about The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and also why President Snow turned into such a terrible human being. Also, this will be a long one, so grab yourself a huge cup of tea and make yourself comfortable and buckle up. Oh, this is hot. So the Hunger Games prequel, called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, is based on the same book. It's based on this book with the same name. It's written by Susan Collins, who also wrote the original books as well. In the book and in the movie, we basically get to know the backstory of President Snow and also the point of view of the people of Capitol and what happened to them during the rebellion. So we follow him when he's about 18, but we will get some flashbacks about his childhood as well as his cousin Tigris, who is a couple of years older than him, and we follow these two basically. We will also get a glimpse of Tigris in The Mockingjay Part 2, if you remember. We also get to see Lucy Gray, her role and her importance in Coriolanus Snow's life. And if you've seen the trailer, you may think that, oh, she might be the protagonist. No, she's not the protagonist. Coriolanus Snow is the protagonist, okay, of the book and of the movie. She's important, but she's not the protagonist. She's the co-lead, okay? We also get to see Dr. Gall and Dean Highbottom, two very important characters, not only in the story, but also in how Coriolanus Snow's character is shaped. The movie is directed by Francis Lawrence, who also directed Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1, and Mockingjay Part 2. And the screenplay is co-written by Susan Collins, the writer of the original books and this one. Now let me tell you that I am a huge fan of the original books and the original movies as well. If we don't think about that, Mockingjay has a part 1 and 2, and it would have been much better if it was just one movie, but we're not here to talk about that right now. But imagine my surprise when I understood and learned that there will be a book years when the book was about to be released, that there will be a book about Snow's backstory. I was like, why? But do we need this book? Do I need to know Snow's backstory? I don't think I want to know, because he's just such a horrible character. He's a strategist, yes, but he's also a dictator and an authoritarian. So, no thank you. But then they greenlit the movie. I was like, oh my god, okay, here we go again. So yeah, we got to see the backstory of President Snow. And come to think of it, I was thinking, why should I have any sympathy for this character? Because I know when they make a prequel about a villain, they want to make us have sympathy for the villain. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, why should I have any sympathy for this man? Well, the thing is that the book and the movie, respectively, they try to, give us a perspective to see the other side as well. But when the other side is a capitalist government with rich people, it's hard to relate to. But no, we get to see the flashback. And why do these people, the capital people, and Coriolanus Snow, why do they have this much hatred towards the people of districts, and why they shut any rebellion down? We basically get to see the why. Now, to be honest, I tried to finish the book before going to see the movie. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, although I'm still reading the book. So I'm about 130 pages in the book, and I still have no sympathy towards any character besides Tigris. Tigris is love, not only in the books, but as I later on will point out, she was also my favorite character in the movie as well. I'd say the movie suffers the same issue as the book. Like in the book, I didn't like any of the characters. I couldn't have any sympathy, empathy towards any of the characters. And I couldn't relate to any of them. And the movie has the same issue. It's just exactly the same. I just like one character, whereas when I was reading and then watched the original movies and original books, I could relate to many characters. The actors, I have to say, they did the best they could do with the role. And it was Tom Blythe's performance and also Hunter Schafer and Viola Davis's performances that really kept me going through the movie and made me pay attention and not to get distracted. So this is a positive point. But again, having a good performance isn't enough. Like, it won't necessarily get you to like a character. So the movie, like the original ones, although telling a dystopian future narrative and story, has a political side to it and has some messages. That is, say, if you pay enough attention. We basically see what famine does to people, and that every war and every rebellion has two sides. So you get to see the other side with this story. Another thing that we should talk about are the changes that they made. And these sort of changes are totally natural, it's totally common, and they happen when they adapt a book to a movie or a TV series. The book is quite long. It's actually more than 500 pages. So since the book is quite long, some stuff will have to be cut out. And I understand that. But in the first act, there are some stuff that happen and it's so rushed, you will not get to digest it. And they're very important. But then we'll get to second and third act, some stuff happen and they're dragged way too long, and they shouldn't be dragged that long. There's no need actually for that. Then another problem is the chemistry between our two leads, and you've seen it in the trailer. There's no spoiler here. And I didn't see that. I didn't see the chemistry between our two leads. Now let's get to the score. The score is composed by James Newton Howard, and he directly channels the original films, which is understandable because he also composed the music for the original movies as well. Now Rachel Zegler gets to sing some of the songs which we have read in the book, and then the original Hanging Tree a couple of times. Some are complaining that she doesn't sing as well as Jennifer Lawrence. I don't have anything to comment on that specifically. I liked the original version that Jennifer Lawrence sang. I really like that one. But this one isn't bad. It's alright. But to comment on other songs, I have to say that she isn't that bad. Sometimes she hits the note very well and it gets to your feeling. But sometimes she just can't quite get the note right. But one of the best things about the movie is the original song called Can't Catch Me Now by Olivia Rodrigo. And I just love that. It's so cool. I've been listening to it on repeat. All in all, the movie is entertaining enough to watch or to give it a go for sure. I will for sure rewatch it when it hits digital. But I still don't get the point of telling this story, and I am still not convinced. And I know that with this story they try to convince us to see the point of view of capital people and Coriolanus Snow's tough childhood and teenage years. I can see that. I'm just not convinced. The thing is that there's such horrible people, and it's even mentioned in book that they don't see the district people as human beings. They see them as animals. And that's not addressed as deeply as it should have in the movie. And that's a very important thing to point out and to talk about. Another small problem that I had with the book is that if someone hasn't read the book, they might find some plot points and some stuff a bit confusing. Like there are some stuff that they're missing. I understand that there are some messages there. I totally get it. But I think, unfortunately, the movie didn't explore those as deeply as they could. But with the movie adaptation, you have a limited time. So I'd say maybe it could have been better if they would have made it in a miniseries or a trilogy to explore these themes more profoundly. But you tell me, what do you think about the movie? Have you read the book or have you not? But tell me, what do you think and how they adapted it? Was the movie entertaining for you and were you convinced? Did you get the point of view? Did you get the messages and those political messages? Let me know what you think down in the comments. And until the next cozy movie review. Bye.